The Day of the African Child, observed annually on the 16th of June, commemorates the 1976 student uprising in Soweto, South Africa, where hundreds of children were killed while protesting for better education and the right to be taught in their own languages. The theme for 2025 is Planning and Budgeting for Children's Rights, Progress since 2010. Now it focuses on evaluating how African countries have prioritized children's needs in national plans and budget over the last 15 years, and also calls for continued commitment to advancing children's rights through proper planning and resource allocation. For more on this, I'm being joined by Education Advisor Plan International Nigeria, Toby Ransom, joins me to discuss the Day of the African Child. Good to have you join us on the News at 1. So talk to us about the most significant challenges you think that African children face today and how should this be addressed?
Thank you very much, and it's good to be here. So some of the significant challenges that children face, number one is access to quality education, and not just quality, but also inclusive and gender responsive education, where every child, regardless of their background or religion or beliefs, have access, and also regardless of their ability to have access to education. Another challenge, of course, is poverty, because that is a major challenge where, due to poverty, their children are unable to access both quality education, healthcare, mental health support, and the likes of it. Then we have insecurity, of course, that is spreading widely, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa. And some of the ways that we can actually address it, and just like the theme for this year rightly suggests, which is planning and budgeting for children's rights, is to continue to advocate for gender sensitive and child sensitive and gender responsive budgeting, whereby monies are allocated to children or to education, to the welfare of children and their rights, and also ensure that they are fully implemented. So it's one thing to budget for them, but it's also another thing for them for the budgets to be released and then implemented. Thank you.
And it's great that this conversation is coming at a time where we see a lot of conflict and war in the African region. Very key issues you've mentioned about access to education and all of that, but there are more present concerns about protecting the African child from exploitation and child abuse. How do we address this issue at this time?
So absolutely, protecting the child, the African child, from child abuse, from exploitation is important, and we cannot put education at the back burner of it, because as we know, education is actually one of the rights of the children, and in providing quality education for children and ensuring that the children are safe, right, within schools, both formal and non-formal, is one way of ensuring that we're protecting their rights and we're addressing issues of exploitation and abuse. Then we also have the legal framework. So we have policies and frameworks such as VAP. We have the Child Rights Acts that have been domesticated in several states in Nigeria. Implementing these legal frameworks and policies is also going to ensure that we address issues of exploitation and abuse. Basically ensuring that perpetrators are held accountable by the legal framework in the system, and also putting in structures that ensure that we protect the child and provide for them. Then of course the issue of collaboration. So when we have partnership between the different systems, we have the government, we have communities, parents, we have international development organizations just like Plan International working together to address some of these challenges is important. So these are some of the ways that we can address issues of abuse and exploitation that children face right now.
Let's talk technology. Nigerian youth are one of the highest in the world who have, harnessed the importance of technology for themselves and also for, the rest of the world. But talk to us how we can take advantage of technology at this time, AI to be specific, in, uniting Nigerians, Africans across the world, and also ensuring that children, African children, to be specific at a young age, begin to take advantage of the technological space.
Okay, so thank you for that question. I'm going to start number one with access. While we know that we have a large number of Nigerian youth and children having access to technology, we also have a much more higher number of children that do not have access to technology. And so when you leave the metropolis in Nigeria and our cities and you start going into the interiors, such as the villages and the likes of your local government, you see that access to technology starts reducing. So making it accessible to these children is important. And the next thing is also creating learning platforms or making learning platforms that are both fun and engaging, but carry some of carry our Nigerian education curriculum in them is very, very important. So we do not just want to put tablets or phones or laptops in the hands of children, but we want to ensure that the content they are engaging with is relevant to them and is going to ensure that they are being prepared for the future that we want. Then we also have to look at the issue of safety online, child safeguarding. While we're making technology accessible for everyone, we have to put in structures to ensure that children are kept safe from predators, from bullying, and the likes of it. So these are some of the things that we need to consider if we want to make technology accessible and also valuable, so that we have children that are productive and also are able to make impact and contribute to the Nigeria that we want to see.
All right. Education advisor, Plan International Nigeria, Toby Ransomed. Thank you for talking to us at this time.